Hey there, folks. Rhenium T here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. I apologize, this trilogy. Thank you, Capcom Creators, for the code. Last part, we started up the trial, second part. We're off to cross-examine flounder, who we're pretty sure is the killer. I mean, come on. The video at the start. Ah! April 19th, 11 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is back in session. Our next witness is... Yes, I'm acting on behalf of the mayor in this very important manner. It seems the witness is predisposed at the moment. Surely you jest. I will hold you to your promise. I remember that. Oh, my deepest apologies. This is Laurent Labelle, a personal aide to Mayor Tenma, or should I say, the accused. Ouch, like the poor mayor hasn't suffered enough. Well, what business do you have with me? I'm a very busy man, so let's make this as brief as possible. Your baldness? Right. Mr. Filch's testimony has revealed a hole in your alibi, and for this reason... you are suspected of having some sort of connection with the case at hand. Just to think I'd be associated with this entirely lurid affair. Well, I'm not. So may I go now? I have very important matters to attend to.
Objection!
I don't think so, Mr. LaBelle. Do you realize what a serious crime you've committed? Witness, you are being accused of perjury. This is your chance to clear the air. Fine. The truth is, I faked my alibi for a very good reason. The mayor was obviously the killer, so I created a fake alibi to confuse the matter. You see, as his personal aide, I felt I had to protect him. Oh, sorry. You think this is funny? Without your alibi, you're a suspect too. What were you really doing at the time of the crime? Peasant, how dare you accuse me of the beautiful people being? Stop stalling and tell the court what you were really doing at the time of the crime.
Silence!
Enough jabbering. Swords have been drawn. The time for talk is past. Swords? What swords? This is a duel to the death. The fate of the accused rests in our hands. Begone, ye of cowardly hearts. Battlefield hath no place for ye. Again? Oh my. Spare me, please! So much for sturdier shackles. Those chains hindered my vow that heads would roll this day. Just keeping your head on in court a whole new meaning. Little witness, please lower the accused's death knell. You know what I speak. Most certainly. His ghost is already cooked. I have to stick a fork in him. Whatever he has to say can't be good. As I told Prosecutor Blackwell during the recess, I rushed right over to the false chamber when I heard little Jinxie scream. What? And then, drumroll please, I saw Mayor Tenma opening the forbidden chamber doors. Wait. There you have it. A mystery man who opened a chamber door as witnessed by one Phineas Filch. Was the accused? There was never any third party. Oh, and that's not all. I heard something quite startling there at the scene of the crime. Startling sounds bad. The mayor, who was barely conscious, muttered this. Forgive me, Jinxie, I killed the older man. And that's right, the mayor actually confessed to the murder right then and there. He confessed? Order! Order in the court! This is quite conclusive testimony if it stands. And just so quite astonishing, I might add. I only learned of this fact during the recess. I just love surprises, don't you? That's why I saved the best for last to consider a gift from me to you. No way, I don't believe Mr. LaBelle heard the mayor confess. But is this really true? The mayor Tenma really confessed? It is indeed. During the last recess, I confirmed it with the mayor's daughter. Let's see, Mayor Tenma actually did confess. That testimony is quite favorable to the prosecutions. Hey, this is LaBelle. Yes, I called earlier about the party reservations. That's alright, and I'll be calling on my little shindig at Mayor Tenma's conviction and gala. A splendid time is guaranteed for all but the mayor and his defense. Well, as it seems our witness is a very busy man, let's get right to his testimony. Mr. LaBelle, please tell us what you saw when you came upon the scene of the crime. LaBelle saw. I was in the hallway, hiding in the shadow. That's when I heard the confession. On learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing me. Immediately after that, the mayor came to and stood up and opened the forbidden chamber. As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end. That's not all what happened. I must say this is quite a shocking revelation. Quite unexpected. I think the defendant actually confessed then and there to his crime. Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear, so he confided in his daughter. You realize you should not have withheld such crucial testimony from the court. Once again, sorry. It's just I feared being accused, so I mentioned coming upon that most unpleasant sin. Why did the mayor's confession have to be brought up by this guy? Can I do something before the judge declares the mayor guilty? As a death row inmate once told me in years gone by, there is a time to fight and a time to yield, a time to live and a time to die. He's laying it on real thick now. Defense may now cross-examine the witness. What's LaBelle saw? Well, we're pressing everything as usual. I don't want to. But they claim the mayor confessed to his daughter. Are you sure about that? Peasant! You wouldn't dare ask such a question if you truly understood. True beauty is never wrong. It's not. No, beauty is carved deep in the DNA. And that means I'm programmed to always be right, even when I'm wrong. I'm not following. These exquisite ears like flowers bloom, these eyes that shine like pearls, this hair like the finest silk, and nothing can corrupt the truth they hold. Right. The witness will hurry up and explain this truth of his. Basically, what did Jinxie Tenma do upon hearing the confession? Hold it! Without ever noticing me. How did Miss Tenma appear to you? Oh, the poor little thing seemed positively heartbroken, all teary-eyed and whatnot. I couldn't help but shed a few tears myself after seeing her like that. He actually sympathized with Jinxie? It seems like an overly human emotion for him. Yeah, because he's the only real monster we've seen so far in looks and in character. The next thing I did was check my face in the mirror. Check your face? Why? To behold the beauty that is my sadness, why else? Although, I'm starting to lose all faith in humanity. I have a feeling, but hang in there. At least to keep faith in our client. Let's keep this moving, shall we? So what's happened next? Immediately after that, Mayor came. He opened the forbidden chamber? But why would he do that? He knows that maybe he wanted to free the demon at Tenma.
Objection!
The courtroom is no place for fairy tales. Remember, you are under oath. Hello, LaBelle speaking. Yes, I will certainly explore the matter. Toodles. Now, where were we again? You were gonna tell us the real reason why the mayor opened the forbidden chamber. Oh, yes, of course. Hello, this is LaBelle. Good one, sir. You are an absolute right. Okay, bye. You were saying? Never mind. This is a waste of time. He's just gonna tell more lies. Witness will focus on his testimony, not his phone calls. I'll tell the court what you did after you saw the mayor open the forbidden chamber. Well, after that... Enter... What was Mr. Filch like at the time? He was shouting, I can't see, it's a curse at Tenma. And he took off running like a madman. Must have been blinded by the sudden light flooding in. Wrong. What? He set eyes upon me, and was thus blinded by my radiant beauty. So, was the curse of Laurent LaBelle rather than Tenma? Yes, I'm afraid such beauty can be a curse. It's almost a criminal. The only thing criminal here is your ceaseless jabbering. Get on with your testimony. Oh, forgive me, your darkness. Let's see. Oh, yes, I have fled for dear life from Tenma, and I fled down the hallway to my right. So after you fled into the hallway with the phone at the end, Tenma ran off towards the foyer? Precisely. Notice any inconsistencies, Apollo? Oh, Jinxie also saw Tenma, right? She did. She said they passed each other in the hall after she made that call to the police. Well, if LaBelle had fled down the hall where that phone is, Jinxie would have seen him when she was returning from making her call. Oh, right. If she saw him, she would have definitely asked him for help. Right, it just doesn't make any sense. Time to review the evidence. I don't find some way to poke a hole in his testimony. Mayor Tenma's as good as guilty! It's bad, very bad. May I find inconsistency, a mistake, some kind of conflict? Tell over if we can't find a flaw in the prosecution's case. Present.
Objection!
Statement. Laurent LaBelle, you're lying about having witnessed these events from the hallway. What on earth do you mean? Yes, care to fill the rest of us in, Mr. Justice? If Mr. LaBelle had really fled down into the hallway with the phone in it, he would have crossed paths with Miss Tenma. What is this? After she discovered the crime scene, she immediately went to call the police. And after making her call, she went back to the main hallway. Whereupon she encountered the demon, yokai, whatever you want to call it. As for me, I call it Phineas Filch in the Tenma costume. The encounter happened right here where the hallways meet. As for Mr. LaBelle, if he had fled here, feigning escape from the yokai imposter. Why yes, the two would have crossed paths. Right, except Miss Tenma told us that there was no one else in the hall. In short, Miss Tenma did not see you in the hall because you were never really there. Ah! My eyes! My beautiful eyes! Ha! Not such a fabulous scent now, is it? But Mr. Justice, the witness also stated that he heard the mayor confess. He was lying about hearing the confession from the hall. Where was he when he heard it? Inside the Fox chamber, where else? But isn't that within the very crime scene? It is, Your Honor, and that means he's not really a witness. Rather, he's the third party I've been alleging this whole time. What? You think I'm the killer? How dare you?
Silence!
Foolish fop, a true man knows when he is beaten. Shield of lies comes not before a foe with the sword of truth bared. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you? I thought we were on the same side. You are mistaken. There are no sides here save for my cold, steely edge of judgment. You are alone upon this battlefield with naught but your lies and sickly sweet perfume. Oh, what just happened? Blackwell's really turning into him. You heard the mayor's confession from the inside, did you not, you deviant dandy? The sole location from which you could have seen and heard the mayor and the Tanuki. Without either of them noticing, you were right there in the Fox Chamber. Oh, my. So that's how it's going to be. Fine, I'll come clean then. Seriously? You admit to being there in the Fox Chamber? I do. I did enter the room after the murder. But I was afraid of being falsely accused, so I lied about it. I feel terrible about lying like that, but it's a verbal cologne I use to protect myself. You'd better explain yourself, Mr. LaBelle. Yes, of course. I was just about to get to that. Witnesses skating on thin ice, I'll remind you that perjury is a very serious crime. Now let's hear your testimony again, this time without your perfume of lies. In the Fox Chamber. I did enter the Fox Chamber after the murder, but I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard that the mayor groaned and hid behind the folding screen there. What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. As you see, I was there really watching from behind the screen. From behind the screen? Why, yes, I believe you wouldn't be spotted if you were there. Just so he could see everything without being spotted by the victim or that Tanuki Filch. I say he was a mere witness to events rather than an actual third party. This guy is as slippery as an eel. Paulo! You think he's telling the truth? Well, he was in the Fox Chamber, so at least that much must be true. Hence may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness. Hold it! Why in the world would we enter that grisly crime scene? Why? Because I was worried. Mayor Tenma's suit. It what? It was designed personally by me. I was worried that my work of art might get blood on it. This man clearly has his priorities in order. Okay, let's get this over with, shall we? Now, where was I? Oh, yes. So I entered the Fox Chamber almost without thinking. I didn't enter until after. Why didn't you enter right away? It ruined my designer shoes. Your shoes? Even now, just thinking about getting blood on my fabulous shoes, footwear, it sends chills down my spine. That's why I hesitated.
Objection!
That's terrible. A man was dying, another injured, and you're worried about your shoes?
Silence!
I need to remind you this is a court of law. We are not teaching morality here. We have schools of etiquette and the like for such trivial pursuits. Ugh! Now you listen to me, you deceptive dandy. Get to the point and be quick about it. Yes, well, I was there in the Fox Chamber, but I heard the mayor groan and hit behind the screen. Wait a second. Why do you hide yourself? Oh my, so you do understand. I do? By hiding, I was concealing my fabulous ability for which, for the sake of the universe, is it something I should never, ever do? That's what you were thinking, right? Seeing a black hole of egocentricity forming around the witness stand. We can deliberate his mental process another time. Get on with the testimony. Well, regarding medicine. I miss a word. I think I missed a word from Blackpool. Now, okay.
Hold it!
Could you describe the crime scene in a bit more detail? And what exactly would you like details about? Well, what I'd like to ask you about is... Forbidden Chamber. Could you please describe the Forbidden Chamber at the time? It was shut tight until the mayor opened it. She's really trying to stress that it was the mayor who opened the Forbidden Chamber. The big liar! He opened it himself! Whoa. If looks could kill, the bill would be toast. Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider his statement to be of any importance? Important? One of the other options. Probably not particularly important. No, Your Honor. And proceed, which is like to add, just like to add that it was a terribly grisly state, as I have described. I guess the rest. You see, I was there merely watching. The mayor had been knocked out by a blow to the head. Could he really have opened the Forbidden Chamber in that state? Well, it did seem difficult. He was all woozy and stumbling around as he opened it. It was such a heroic effort that I nearly started to cheer him on despite myself. I think the mayor needed medical attention more than a cheerleader. I think he's telling the truth about being there in the room. Well, I believe he was there. The question is, when did he enter? You mean, did he enter after Jinxie fled? Or was he there before the murder? If it's the latter, that would change everything. Right, if he was there before the murder, that would make him a suspect. How do we go about proving that? Well, I guess we ask him about what happened there. Wait, let's press him and see what kind of info we can extract. Let's cross our fingers and that he says or reveals something incriminating. Okay.
Hold it!
That was horrifying. Feathers and tracks. What do you remember about the yokai feathers and tracks? They resulted when Tenma exited the Forbidden Chamber. He came out in quite a rush, scattering feathers this way and that. Did you immediately know it was Mr. Filch? I did, and that's why I suggested we cook up our alibis together. And how did those practice sessions go? They were nearly the death of me. Filchy has been the worst student ever. He really doesn't think he's done anything wrong, does he? Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider... Let's go back to it and let's see what the last one says. The murder weapon. Could you describe the state of the weapons that had been used at the scene? The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman Kiyomi, and then there was that statue the Alderman used to bludgeon Mayor Tenma. That incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor. Alright, the statue. But why would you find it inspiring? Why exactly do you find the statue inspiring? Well, when I saw that statue, it felt as if the merger had been realized. It was like a celebration of a union between a town and village, and an inspiring symbol of goodwill. A broken statue next to a bloody corpse. Real inspiring. Okay, this one has me more questioning. Is it important? Yes. I believe that'd be extremely important to be added to the testimony. Let's press on it.
Hold it!
A token of goodwill. Are you referring to the Fox and Demon statue? Yes, the statue the Alderman allegedly used to strike back at Mayor Tenma. The mayor trampled down municipal goodwill only to be clobbered by its symbol. It's quite ironic, don't you think? That's when that symbol of goodwill was transformed into a symbol of conflict. If I present the statue...
Objection!
Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. LaBelle. What possibly could you mean? You said the statue was like a celebration of union between town and village. Isn't that correct? It is indeed, but what of it? The two yokai are joining hands in goodwill. As if they were celebrating the municipal merger. Is something the matter? So, how do you really know that the statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill again? What? Justice Dono, explain yourself. Make it quick. The statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form, but that was a secret. A secret? Whatever do you mean? What I mean is that it broke when someone used to distract me or Tenma on the head. What's left clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out. Eh. The statue's secret and its true form were lost inside that locked room. For Ms. Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it once looked like. So, Mr. Lavelle, where could you have possibly seen a statue in its original form? What do you mean, where? The only possible answer is this. You saw a statue in its original form. Right there in the room where the alderman was murdered before it was broken. How dare you? Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime? Yes. Yes, I am. Laurent Labelle, I accuse you of the murder of Alderman Rex Kyubi. Ah! They has read. Order! Order! Mr. LaBelle, you've been accused of murder. Do you have anything to say in your defense? How could you possibly accuse me of the embodiment of beauty? Way to go, Apollo! This is the conclusive evidence we needed. Magnifico! I've got you now. We know you killed the alderman. Now admit it.
Silence!
Enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock cannot possibly be the killer.
Objection!
What are you talking about? His alibi has already crumbled to dust. And I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence!
Why could he have not seen the statue in its true form before the murder? Well, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo... Yes, no, that's right. I clearly remember it now. The alderman Kyubi told me about it. About what the statue actually looked like. I mean, it was a good friend of mine.
Objection!
Yeah, right. He would show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence!
Moreover, it's already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime. It has? Forgotten, have we? Recall the little scamp's testimony, if you will. When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox chamber, she saw the alderman and the mayor collapse there and no one else. Oh. Dang it! The fact is, it was you two who made that apparent in yesterday's court session. And thus, Florent LaBelle could not possibly have been in that locked room. Ugh. I just don't get it. How could Jinxie not have seen LaBelle? The proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. Am I not right, your boldness? It does seem awfully conclusive. The facts point to the defendant and the victim being the only people in that locked room. Moreover, the defendant had already confessed.
Objection! Silence!
You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in the charade is over, Justice Dono. But... Your boldness. This trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. It is high time you brought down the hammer of justice. A point well made. I believe it's time to declare a verdict. This court finds the defendant Dami and Tenma. Let's see what my time is ahead. Mayor Tenma? Counselor, there is a matter to which I must testify. Oh, now only for your good graces. Wait, Counselor? Oh, right, he must mean me. Finally remember what happened before that blow to his head? Bailiff, don't just stand there, seize him. No good, I can't restrain him. No man to spare. I am Tenma Taro, demon lord of the yokai. Mr. Justice, do something. Since when am I responsible for court security? Hello, this is our chance. Might get some new information out of him. Your Honor, I see as our client has something new to say. I believe due process demands that we hear him out, even if he is a yokai. When you put it that way. Still, I believe testimony by a yokai is unprecedented in the legal world. Unprecedented and absurdity, more like. Alright, Mr. Dami Tenma, say Mr. Tenma Taro, your testimony, please. I shall now speak of recollections most real, courteous of my host, Dami and Tenma. Heed these words, mortal, for hear them once you shall. Oh god, ruler of demonkind. Barely conscious was Dami in there amid the darkness. Suddenly two yokai did appear. On one side, Tenma Taro, the ruler of demonkind. On the other hand, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox. So was the defendant asserting that the room he was in was very dark at the time? Strange as may be, yes, indeed, all was in darkness. How about Tenma Taro, the nine-tailed fox, being there? Yes, the two Tenma Taro towered overhead, and nine-tailed fox glittering gold. I got animal abuse, Your Honor! It seems the defendant's recollections are not to be trusted. Yes, well, truth be told, my host's recollections are still a bit fuzzy. As if half-dreamt that happening lingers in his mind. Hello, maybe I can help here. Really? Oh, you mean? Yeah, I can hear it. The discord in his heart. I sense an unusual emotion in the mayor's memory of the event. Hey, I just hope our findings don't come back to haunt us! Barely conscious was Dami in there, amid the darkness. Suddenly two yokai did appear. One side I, Tenma Taro, ruler of demonkind. On the other hand, oh, there's the unexpected emotion. On the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox. It sounds like the mayor saw the same thing as was shown on that scroll. What's with those Tenmas and their yokai vision? I think it's sweet how father and daughter can share something like that. I don't think a shared nightmare really qualifies as sweet. Anyway, all you need to do is point out an unnatural reaction like last time. Right, look for places where an emotion conflicts with testimony. That conflict usually indicates a thought or emotion is being suppressed. Well, I saw it already. Inside eye. Oh. Pinpoint. The happy! When the nine-tailed fox appeared, you not only experienced shock and sadness, but also something like joy as well? Joy? Perhaps it was joy at the light coming to my eyes at long last. Long and terrible creaking did pierce the silence. And then there was light. On reflection, it was a door that did produce that infernal racket. A creaking door. Oh, you must be talking about the forbidden chamber door. It does make a lot of noise. So this means the forbidden chamber really was open. But what about the sudden light that he described? I think I know. He mentioned darkness and Tenma towering overhead. Maybe the mirror wasn't really in the Fox chamber at the time of the crime? Mr. Mayor, did the darkness you were in happen to be here? I'm thinking the window.
Take that!
Here, Tenma, the darkness you were in was right here. Huh? And you claim I was there? No, it's a drug do I possess? That's just because your memory is still hazy. On further reflection, I believe that you are gravely misguided. Huh? He means you got that one wrong, Apollo. Counselor, I expect attempts of a more serious nature from you. Alright, let's think that one over again. I'm gonna reread that. Wasn't really a Fox chamber at the time. The forbidden chamber? The forbidden chamber? Was it not the Fox chamber where the murder did occur? Yes, but it would all make sense if you were in the forbidden chamber. A terrible creaking sound was probably a forbidden chamber's door opening. The tower in Tenma you saw? Most likely forbidden chamber statue. Why, yeah, is that what? Explain it. The darkness and the staff in a demon's grasp. Even if all that's true, then what about the nine-tailed fox? Maybe he was seeing things, just like Jinxie in her imaginary yokai? Fantastico, Apollo! It's entirely possible. In a groggy, dreamless state, people can misremember things and events. Misremember, you say? Let me think. Ah! I do believe I remember now that was not the nine-tailed fox. It was the amazing Ninetales. What? The amazing Ninetales? At first, this is but a dream, I thought. Now, however, most clearly do I recall. It was the amazing Ninetales who did open the Forbidden Chamber's door. 60%. I'm sorry I asked. Amazing Ninetales? That was the victim, Alderman QB, right? Yeah, why would he open the Forbidden Chamber? Wasn't he trying to keep it sealed? Never mind that! This is completely new information. I'm gonna try and run an update. I'll just... info update. There's a mighty statue of Tenma loomed overhead. The door opened and the shaft of light did pierce the gloom. Okay, Ninetales will come to the rescue. But why is he... Is it this?
Got it!
The, like, scared? When the amazing Ninetales opened the chamber, banishing the darkness within, you felt joy, but didn't you also feel shock and sadness? Yes, in the hazy depths of my mind, I do recollect something of that nature. I believe it was the Fiend's Cape of Red, for when I did behold it, a great wave of sadness had inexplicably washed over me. Yeah, I feel like I said 60. Cape of Red? Hello! We've reduced the noise level. Oh, but there's still a little left. Mayor Tenma, why were you sad when you saw the red cape? Why indeed? What could this mean? Is his memory still a little spotty? I know because his latest recollection contradicts the evidence. Yeah, it's one of those contradictions that slaps you right across the face. Something this obvious could arise when someone is trying to force a fuzzy memory into definitive shape. Hello, I know what you have to do. You present evidence that contradicts the image you see. Oh, so it's basically the same as usual cross-examination process. Okay, time to review the evidence. Look out, contradiction! Here comes justice! Okay, baby conscious. Statue, suddenly door open. Info update. Amazing Knights has come to the rescue. But this shows him without a red cape.
Objection!
You said the Amazing Ninetales cape was red. Are you sure about that? Yes, well, I do believe it was a red cape I saw, but... Mayor Tenma. Does this cape look red to you? Oh, that certainly does not look red. Not even scarlet or crimson either. Nevertheless, on my deliberation, something red did fill my as yet hazy field of view. And I thought to myself, ah, the Amazing Ninetales is arrayed in the cape of red. He must have that red something for his cape, huh? Apparently so. Remembering it now brings a great sadness upon me. The red something probably wasn't a cape after all. Maybe the great sadness he mentioned is what's interfering with his memory? Well, he would have seen the fox chamber behind the Amazing Ninetales. What red object could he have seen there that would have been that shocking? I know. Could have been... Mr. Mayor, was the red thing you saw this? What? Is it... statue?
Take that!
Foolish mortal, do you mock me? Whoa, sorry. I'm afraid I have no recollection of seeing such an item. Must cease this practice of leaping before looking. Sorry. Gosh, that was human demon double punch. Hello, think of something that's red and could produce a feeling of sadness. And take a good look at the evidence again. Mr. Mayor, was red thing you saw this. The blood.
Take that!
Something red that could produce a deep sadness. Could it be, Mr. Tenma, that what you saw was the alderman's blood? Blood? Hey, yes, it was blood. It's all coming back to me now. It wasn't a red cape that I saw. It was lying behind the Amazing Ninetales, the alderman's bloody body. Eee! Bye-bye. His noise level's down to 0. I think he's remembered everything now. Does mean the Amazing Ninetales kill the Alderman Kyubi? Alderman was the Amazing Ninetales, so how exactly would that work? Hey, I asked you first! Well, Mr. Justice, you sure you know how to make a complicated matter even more complicated. True, but at the time of the crime, our client was in the Forbidden Chamber. Moreover...
Silence!
Boy, don't you think this is strange? Little Scamp has already confirmed her father to be in the Fox Chamber. But she said not about seeing the Amazing Ninetales there. Tried to bring that up, didn't you? Jinxie didn't see LaBelle there either. And it's so weird. Who really was in that room then? Would the defense care to share any theories with the court? Can you explain the inconsistency between the defense testimony and his daughters? Yes? Of course, I can explain it. Because if I don't, we're in serious trouble. Not with more of your bluffs and fairy tales, I trust. Fair warning, Justice Dono, I shall have your head if you fail to explain this. What about a good old-fashioned penalty? Well, Mr. Justice, let's see if you have a head worth keeping on your shoulders. First of all, Mr. LaBelle was definitely in the Fox Chamber while it was locked. We also know Mayor Tenma was in the Forbidden Chamber based on his testimony. Two facts are crucial to my explanation. Let us consider the following question. The facts point to Florent LaBelle and the victim being there at the scene. Why did Jinxie Tenma see the victim and their father, Mayor Tenma? A very good question indeed, and I suppose you have an answer for us? Sadly, you would be supposing wrong. You think she could have mistaken LaBelle for the mayor? Well, if she did, then the question is, why did she do that? Well, how about that explanation, Mr. Justice? I believe the time for questions is over. It asserts that Florent LaBelle was at the scene of the crime. However, Jinxie Tenma has testified that she saw her father collapse there. If she has, in fact, misremembered the event, what could have made her do so? LaBelle was disguised as Tenma. Figure Miss Tenma saw was not her father. It was Florent LaBelle disguised as Damian Tenma.
Silence!
That is a complete impossibility. Faces are utterly unalike. How could you explain that with a mere disguise? Yes, they do have have incredibly distinctive faces. Maybe the disguise completely hid his face? I think Jinxie would have mentioned if she couldn't see her father's face. If it was that sort of disguise, wouldn't she have removed it? I'm mixing up my voices here. Oh, right. Your sword is as dull as your mind, Justice Stoney. I'll show you what a truly sharp blade is capable of. I think I'll best. Are you okay, Apollo? I'm not fine, am I? Well, now we have that little fairy tale out of the way. Your baldness, your verdict, if you will. Mr. Justice, I believe it's time for a verdict if you have no further arguments. What's even left for me to do? Hello! Remember what Mr. Wright always says? When you're stuck in a tight spot, turn the case upside down. Turn the case upside down? He does say that, doesn't he? But I don't quite see how it applies here. Still, never hurts to give it a try, I guess. Let's see. Rather than Jinxie didn't remove the disguise, maybe she couldn't remove it. Rather than she didn't tell anyone about the disguise, maybe it was she couldn't talk about it. A wrestler's mask is more precious than his own life. He never unmasks himself in front of others. There are matches where wrestlers battle for the right to remove each other's masks. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler could suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than life itself. What about the fact that it was the amazing Ninetales who opened the door? A mask that can't be removed in front of others? Can these facts turn things around? We got it all backwards. Apollo! I think we might have made a huge mistake. Your baldness, I see no need to further indulge them in their silly little farce. Vince has no proof, never did, and they never will. It seems I must announce my verdict.
Objection!
I do have proof. And do you now? Alright, but this better be good, Mr. Justice. We can solve the remaining riddles by turning all of our assumptions upside down. Why Jinxie Tenma mistook Mr. LaBelle for her father? Why she couldn't remove the costume or tell anyone about it in the first place? These riddles are inextricably linked to Mayor Tenma's secret identity. A shocking secret identity that will turn the entire premise of this case upside down. Since evidence clearly reveals Mayor Tenma's secret identity. Wait. Is it the Ninetales mask? Oh, what an absolute claptrap. Poppycock, balderdash! We thought the alderman was the amazing Ninetales and the mayor was Tenma. That's what we believe. That's why we believe the mayor killed the alderman in his lust for Ninetales Vale. It was the basis for the prosecution's entire case against our client. However, we got the whole thing backwards. Mayor Tenma wasn't Tenma. He was the amazing Ninetales. What's this?